Hello and welcome back to Top 6. This is part 2 of the Halloween sequels franchise ranking. If you haven't seen part 1's video, check it out yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, which was part 1, make sure to check that out. And happy Halloween, everyone. Watch out for Michael Myers when you're out trick-or-treating tonight. Let's get over this introduction and get right down into the ranking. This video is going to cover all the movies from Halloween Resurrection to Halloween Ends, the final 6 entries in the franchise. So coming in at number 6, we've got Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If you've seen me talk about Rob Zombie on this channel before, I am not a fan of his movies at all. And I've only seen his franchise entries once each, and I will never watch them again. I'm sorry to Rob Zombie fans out there. I do not like his movies. And I specifically remember watching his Halloween 2 was maybe the most excruciating cinematic experience I've ever been through. It's like 2.5 hours long, and there's a horse that's white and his wife is in it, and I just don't like the way that he did the Halloween movies. I'm sorry. Maybe I just need to sit down one night and go in with no opinion and watch them both, but I honestly think I will still hate it even after that. So, number 6, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Coming in at number 5 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. Obviously, if I didn't like the second one, the first one's not going to be very much higher on the list. I mean, he did try to do something new with a franchise where the story is very copy and paste in a good way. I mean, obviously, you've got to have Michael Myers. If you've seen the aftermath of Season of the Witch, people don't really want Halloween movies without Michael Myers, so obviously you need to have him some way, and he tried to reinvent the character. But there was just so much unnecessary stuff in this movie. There was so much unnecessary nudity and stuff of that caliber, and I'm not against that stuff, but I just feel like Rob Zombie specifically goes over the top with it. And I don't know if it's just a personal thing, but it just sort of takes me out of the movie. It's like, is this important to the plot? And most of the times it isn't. I really don't have anything more to say about this movie. Coming in at number 4 is Halloween Kills. Now, this is the most controversial entry of sort of the newest trilogy of Halloween films. It tries to pull a Halloween 2 and take place immediately after the 2018 Halloween movie and stuff, but nothing happens. It's everyone at the hospital freaking out and chanting "Evil dies tonight," and that's the whole movie. That's the entire thing. I think this was the last entry in the David Gordon Green Halloween movies that was filmed pre-COVID. And I have a feeling that Halloween Ends was supposed to pick up right where Halloween Kills left off. Obviously, they couldn't shoot it then due to COVID restrictions and stuff. So I think it ended up being something very different than it is. But anyways, Halloween Kills is it's a nothing movie. I mean, rewatching all of the films sort of in preparation for this video, there's a lot of riots. There's a riot in Halloween 2. There's another one in Halloween 4. So having riots in a Halloween movie isn't necessarily a new thing that this movie sort of came up with on its own. It's something that's been done before. But it's the whole movie. The whole movie. Everyone is rioting and chanting "Evil dies tonight" and running around looking for Michael Myers. And it's just kind of messy. There's a very unnecessary subplot that deals with a gentleman jumping off a roof to escape Michael Myers. I can't even remember, but it was just so unnecessary in the film. I think it was supposed to be a character building moment for Karen, maybe, but it didn't really do anything, and she dies at the end, so you don't really need to give characters character development if they are going to die at the end of the movie. But the ending is one of the things that really threw me for a loop in the movie, is when Judy Garland is upstairs in the Myers house, and then Michael fucking kills her and stuff. I thought the daughter falling down the stairs and breaking her leg, and so fighting Michael Myers with the broken leg, and I'm pretty sure the bone was going through her leg. That was intense. That was good. I liked the gay couple that owned the Myers house now and like renovated it. Very funky. That was very nice. It's a flop, but it's not as big as a flop as the Rob Zombie movies. I mean, if I could like ixnay the Rob Zombie movies, this would still probably be lower on the list, but it's not as bad as Halloween 2 Rob Zombie edition. In brackets, Rob Zombie's version. Coming in at number 3 is Halloween Resurrection. Might be controversial having this movie this high on the ranking list, but even though it's really bad, I enjoy it more than Halloween Kills and the Rob Zombie movies combined. It's like goofy and kind of stupid. It's got like Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks there. There's a subplot with Busta Rhymes doing kung fu at Michael Myers. You know, they really tried to push the envelope with this one to get modern technology in it, and you've got everyone with the webcams, and I think that's really cool. I did find out the other day on Letterboxd, there is a Halloween Resurrection webcam special, which I think was a special feature on the DVD, where it's the webcam stuff all edited together, and people are saying that, like, if the whole movie was like that and it was like a found footage type thing, it would be one of the best. And I've seen about 10 minutes of it, and I agree, it's really cool. I mean, obviously I know what happens because I've seen the movie, so I know what the characters go through, but if I was watching that, like, raw, I guess, or going in, like, having not seen Halloween Resurrection, it's a very effective horror film because you don't know what to expect. But obviously, that did not sort of impact my ranking on it. It's still really goofy and silly and ridiculous, but I would rather watch it than watch the other 3 entries on this list again. So, coming in at number 2 is Halloween Ends. I know most people did not enjoy this movie, and I'm gonna get shit on for having it at number 2 on my ranking list. I went into Halloween Ends last year, and I knew that the reviews that were coming out of it were bad, and people were not enjoying it and stuff. But I did something I'd never done before when I'm going to see a movie and I know that people hate it, where I just, like, I cleared my mind and I just watched it. And honestly, it wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't horrible and I had fun watching it. And that's why it's so high on the list. It was fun to watch. It doesn't really make sense in any other sort of context, but it was fun to watch. I thought the Corey subplot was actually pretty good, besides the whole, like, Michael Myers, like, eye fucking each other and fighting in the sewer. The whole sewer subplot with Michael Myers was weird. But I feel like it was an interesting way to do a Halloween movie that wasn't just having Michael Myers come back and kill people. They did something unique, and I thought it was cool. It's probably the best ending we'll get for a Halloween movie, with Michael Myers getting thrown in, like, the car crusher thing and literally being, like, ground into nothing, sort of solidifying the fact that he will never come back now. The whole town is there watching his body go through this car crushing thing. Like, this bitch is not coming back from the dead. Everyone is here watching him get turned into pulp. I don't know if my ranking on this film would change if I watched it again now knowing what happens in it, but I'm not going to watch it and then have to redo this whole ranking video, so it's staying at number 2. And then finally, coming in at number 1 is the 2018 Halloween movie. I don't know if, like, Halloween 18, is that what I'm supposed to call it? Because if I call it Halloween, the original's called Halloween, but then again, the original's not in this because this is all the sequels and stuff. But I felt like this was a good way to kick off a new trilogy, kind of. This movie came out just around the time I was getting really into horror, and it's one of the only horror movies that I've watched, and, like, watching it for the first time, not knowing any spoilers, I felt, like, paranoid walking around my house when I finished watching it. Just because there were jump scares in it, and I get wimped out by jump scares. They hit me so hard, and this movie did them really well to the point where towards the end, I had to, like, pull up the timestamps of when the jump scares were going to be so I could, like, prepare myself, because they were just coming out of nowhere. I think it's a really effective way to continue the story, and then obviously sort of ixnaying the whole siblings plot, I think was really cool, and just having it be that Michael Myers is just this fucking crazy dude who's got a vengeance for one lady and wants to kill everyone else. And I think David Gordon Green did a good job with this first entry. The first entry is really good, and then it gets really bad, and then it gets like okay. And I think that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think what franchise he's quote unquote ruining next. I mean, there was just Exorcist Believer, which was a disaster. But back to Halloween, I enjoyed this. If I had to put all 13 movies in sort of order of how much I like them, this would probably be number 2, right after the original. So very high on my list, and I enjoy it a lot. So that is my ranking of the second half of the Halloween sequels franchise. Once again, let me know your rankings down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And happy Halloween, everyone!